So the way I just want to talk about how these teams can be beaten. What has to happen for Auburn to lose in the NCAA tournament or lose in the SEC tournament or find a way to not win a national championship? How do you beat them? How do you pick them apart? Where do you start? T.O., I'll go to you first on this one.
Tall task, but I think what ends up happening in the NCAA tournament, if they do lose, and guys, they're very worthy of winning the national championship. So I want to preface what I'm about to say with this. They get into a close game, something crazy happens. Chad Baker Mazzaro does something a little crazy. It ends up in a technical. The other team gets 2 free throws. It's a 5-point swing at a crucial time of the game. That's what scares me. Outside of that, I don't have a whole lot to pick at. They can beat you in so many different ways. Tahad Pettiford can go nuts for you in a pick and roll, be that electric scoring guard. You can set up offense and have Denver Jones and Miles Kelly come off and shoot threes, and they can run away and shoot. Like, that's not a common skill. And they're big. Throw that in there. And then if you want to get points in the post, Janai Broome, just run everything through him. This is a really good Auburn team, man. And I think in the preseason, I picked them a little bit lower because I thought that JP Pegues was going to be a bigger part. I was wrong. This team defensively, size-wise, incredible, really. Incredible.
Phantom?
You have to shut down Chad Baker Mazzara and Tahad Pettiford. And by shut down, I mean you can't let them hit threes. This team has a plethora of tough shot makers. When those two are cooking with Broome, good night. They're not going to lose.
Yep.
Because Pettiford gives them an electricity that's just spectacular. And Baker Mazzara is one of the best tough shot makers in the country. So you're not just like, there's no world where I'm like, yeah, you're going to expose Janai Broome. Like, yes, you would like to be able to get Broome in some foul trouble, but he's such a good defender. He's one of the 15 on the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year watch list. And I think he could very well be one of the 10. And here's the thing, Denver Jones is right there with him. So, I think that this is a situation where, when I look at this Auburn team, you have to do the very best job you possibly can to make them take tough twos. Because if they're an elite perimeter shooting team and they have a top 2 player in the country. So you really have to value the ball too. Like T.O., if somebody pulls off the upset, it's because they did not make mistakes when they were on offense. Because if you make mistakes, you make an already elite offensive team better.
All right. So here's my take on how you beat Auburn. Number one, I don't think that you can allow Pettiford and Baker Mazzara to get going, right? There's things that you can do to slow down some other guys, but you have to find a way to keep those guys in check, because that's where it goes from being like tough to stop them to being an absolute avalanche when those guys get into a rhythm. So you cannot let them get hot. The other thing I think you need to do is try to force Auburn to play through Janai Broome in the post. If the best offense that they can get is post touches for Janai Broome, I just don't think he's not Zach Edey on the block, right? He is best when he's kind of on the move, when it's pick and pops, when it's pick and rolls, when it's stuff like that. So I think you want to try to force them to play through Janai Broome in the post. And then the third thing I think you need to do is it's a lot easier said than done, but you got to punch them in the mouth early, because we saw it a little bit against Florida, which was kind of the only time that we've ever seen this Auburn team struggle. But they got down, and you could kind of see them get down on themselves a little bit. And I think that if you can get ahead and pull away, I think that you can kind of that's probably your best bet. Is you got to jump on them early. You got to make sure they play through Janai Broome in the post, and you cannot let Baker Mazzara and Tahad Pettiford get hot, because if they get hot, then like those two guys, they're unguardable. Like if when Pettiford is going, like he's going to be hitting like step backs from 30 feet, man. When he gets into it, you cannot let him get going, because he's the guy that can completely change a college basketball game.